Hey guys, my name is Latoya. I'm new to making videos with YouTube. However, I wanted to share my opinion on the COVID-19 vaccination. Um, I'm 100% against it. I don't feel like it should be mandatory. Myself personally, I've never had the flu shot. My kids has never had the flu shot. We have never had the flu. We have never had pneumonia. We have never had COVID-19 or symptoms of COVID-19. I worked at a hospital cleaning when the pandemic first came about. I feel like I was exposed to COVID on numerous different occasions. Um, I cleaned in dialysis and I also cleaned in the laboratory. When the pandemic broke out, I'll say about probably September, October of last year, they expanded different areas in the hospital for positive patients. And one of the areas that I was assigned was for positive patients. At the time when my supervisor came to me and, assigned me to this area to help out, she did not tell me that that's where they would be putting COVID-19 patients. I found out 3 weeks later. However, I did wear the little hospital mask, not an N95 mask, and I did occasionally put on a gown, but it was hot, sweeping, mopping, wiping down. You sweat. So a few of those days, I went in there. Of course, I kept my mask on. That was mandatory, but it was not the mask that they said would prevent COVID-19. However, I cleaned up for a few weeks and blood, because it was for the positive dialysis patients. Blood would be splattered or, needles here and there. And I've never stuck myself or anything, but my whole point of trying to making is I didn't get sick. I felt like I was exposed to it, didn't get sick. I went home to my kids. I worked overnight, went home to my kids. They didn't get sick by the good grace of God. I always keep God first. I go into stores, some stores, like stores in my area. Now, Walmart, Target, places like that, I won't. But like little corner stores, convenience stores, I don't wear a mask. A lot of people in my area don't wear a mask. I can't get over the fact that the flu shot is free. I remember when I had my first child and her insurance hadn't kicked in for her 2 months checkup or something, because I know they use the parents' insurance for the 2 weeks checkup. But anyway, her insurance hadn't kicked in, and they weren't about to see my baby due to her not having insurance. But these are shots and vaccinations that they need to be able to build up their immune system in their bones. But they denied service because my child didn't have insurance and she was only 2 months old. I had to pay out of pocket because her insurance hadn't kicked in. But the flu shot is free. They would even try to bribe you. I remember when I worked at Walmart, it's like, we're giving out $100 gift cards. My manager, I'll take you out to eat. I'll give you $100 cash. Just, try to, whoever get the most customers. And me, I'm like, well, I'm against it. So I'll try to get y'all some customers, but I'm not going to just go all out because I've never had it. I'm 32. I'll be 33 this year. Barely get a common cold. I have a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 9-year-old. They've probably had a common cold. My daughter used to get strep throat a lot. My middle child has never been sick. If they do, it may be a stomach virus, 24 hours, if that. But I just can't get over the fact that it's a free shot for COVID-19. I've never had symptoms. Why would I want to inject myself with it? I've never had the flu shot. That's free. Why would I? I'm totally against it. So and they saying that they're gonna make it mandatory, you know, but you can't do that. It's people over here whose immune system is 100% good, and mine is one of them. A lot of people in my family is one of them. You know, I used to be so scared growing up because, of course, my family is scattered out. My mom lost her mom when she was young. She lost her dad when she was 14. So we don't know a lot of our family. But the ones that we do know, my aunt and uncles, on my between my grandparents, my mom's siblings, we hardly ever get sick. I remember growing up, I'm like, I got friends who losing loved ones every day from, I mean, violence, health wise or whatever. And it's like, I'm asking, like, dang, we ain't had nobody died in our family in years. I just lost my auntie in 2017. Before that, my mom's auntie on her dad's side passed like when I was 10 or 11. In between that, no one. They lost their parents, but my whole thing is this coronavirus vaccine. You know, I can't get over the fact that it's free. I can't get over the fact that they're trying to make something mandatory, but it's people out here who's getting raped. Who's coming in contact with HIV and AIDS unwillingly, forcefully. And I haven't done the research because I'm a single parent. I don't do a lot of research unless it's something that I need to know at that moment. But I'm more likely sure that it's people out here who has gotten raped, who's come in contact with the STD, that's not curable. I wonder, do they get their medicine for free? I wonder, do they get treatment for free? Here it is, the flu vaccine. It's free. You have a baby today, go try to get them vaccinated for their 2 month shots, they 6 month shots, they 8 month shots, 12 months, 4 months, and don't have the proper insurance. I bet you have to pay for it. That's what I don't understand. That's what I don't get. But I mean, if you can, relate to this topic, or if you can relate, you know, of course, share, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment below. I know I'm not the only one. I have people around me. I remember when the pandemic first broke out, and I stay in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. When the pandemic first broke out, it's a lot of homeless people. They were going around testing the homeless people for free, and it's a mix, white, black, but they was going around testing them, because they was trying to, I guess, see who had it or try to stop it. But this was when it first broke out. Not one homeless person in the south side of Huntsville, Alabama, is what I can speak on, came back with a positive test. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about your body, your immune system. I was born and raised in the projects. I wasn't raised, but low income, certain shit. Our immune system is already immune to this type of shit, to this type of living. I thank God that I've never been sick, but sometimes it makes me nervous because I'm like, okay, so when I do get sick, is this going to be deadly? I'm not bragging at all, but I'm just saying, like, it's more to it. It's more to everything, but it's more to this virus situation. I remember when it first came about, people were dropping like flies. People were being hooked up to all type of ventilators and all type of things, and I'm talking about the death rate was like this. Then suddenly, before the vaccine even came about, oh, people just going in with symptoms. You can go home and do this and stay away from people for so many days, and then you're fine. My little sister was tested positive for COVID-19. She's in Memphis, Tennessee. She was scared, cried. She got a 7-year old and a 2-year old, and she went to a party around kids at my other sister's child party at a Chuck E. Cheese or somewhere. The next day when she woke up, she couldn't taste. I think she couldn't smell either, so she went and got tested. and tested positive for COVID-19. They told her, I'm not sure if they gave her any medicine or anything, but her main concern was how they were saying it, her kids getting it. And her 2 year old is always up under her. You know what I'm saying? She went home where she had to go to the grocery store first, got her some little medicine, little Theraflu, little things like that, and everything. She's a single parent, so she had to do this. She wore her gloves, had her mask and stuff on, went home to her kids. She stayed to herself for so many days. She couldn't ship her kids off. Guess what? They didn't come back positive. They was around her the whole 2 weeks. When she did go back, she tested negative. The kids didn't get anything. And her son is like this up under her. She crying, her tears goddamn is falling all in his face and everything. So it's just all about, I feel like it's everything happened for a reason. Everything happened according to God's will. You know, I mean, I don't want to say anything mean or whatever, but maybe the people who lost their lives due to COVID-19, God was ready for them. He had something else planned for them, but I just really feel like it's something else. I'm not about to let y'all stick me, vaccinate me for something I've never had symptoms of, something that, I'm not even worried about. I don't even watch the news. I don't even look up on this type of stuff. I'm not worried. I live my life. I, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to follow the rules. If they want me to wear a mask, they wear a mask. Another thing, my kids has been in school since September. My kids run track. My kids play basketball. My two older kids do. My youngest child don't do anything right now because his school don't have anything. But my oldest, and we've been to Birmingham. They've had track meets. They've had basketball games. They've been quarantined. I think my oldest son has been quarantined twice due to someone on the team having symptoms. And, they had to quarantine the person that was close to him or whatever. At one point, the whole team got quarantined due to somebody else having symptoms. My son had no symptoms. I didn't even worry to go get him tested. I didn't even think twice to go get him tested. Are you fine? You feel sick? You all right? Okay, you got to stay out of school for 2 weeks. Go virtual, whatever. Sent them back to school. No symptoms, nothing. My daughter, she's in high school. She run track. She had to be quarantined once, and it was because she sat beside someone in class who had symptoms. She quarantined for 2 weeks, no symptoms, no fever, nothing. Virtual. They've been in school since September. I think it was only probably once, maybe twice, that they closed the school down for probably a week due to, them want to sanitize and due to so many students were testing positive, but none of mine did. They never had symptoms. They've been in school. They're at school now. I'm at work. They're at school now. They went to their doctor's appointment. Their doctor, you gonna get them vaccinated? No, ma'am. When it was wintertime, have they had their flu shot? No, ma'am. We never had it. We won't get it. They've never had it. Won't get it. Why? When I come to get them for their annual appointments and stuff, if their insurance ain't kicked in, guess what? They're not gonna see them, and they don't even need vaccinations anymore till they get like a certain age. I think they're all caught up on their shots. My youngest child may have to get, a couple of shots when he turns 11. He's 9. He'll be 10 this year. Dentist appointments. We don't go out. You know what I'm saying? We may go out to eat occasionally. We've ate out at restaurants. We've, I don't go out in crowds and stuff. I've done everything to try to prevent it, but I've been an essential worker this whole time. I've worked at a hospital. When they needed me in the ER to clean up, guess what? I needed the extra money. I wasn't getting unemployment. So I picked up those extra hours and went to the ER. And it was real bad down there. And then another thing is they were saying how bad it is. The hospital have different pods. Huntsville Hospital, you got A pod, you got B pod, you got C pod. You can walk around, it's a whole little circle. Like when you are admitted into a room, yeah, the doors are closed. But how severely they was talking about it and how bad that they were saying that it was, you could only close off the pod so much. They had all the COVID-19 patients in the C pod. but it's no doors. I mean, yeah, each person had an individual door once they got admitted into the room. But before that, they're all out in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? If you cough, it can easily float on to A pod and go around to B pod if it's that severe, if it's that bad. I mean, they assign certain cleaners and certain nurses to work in that C pod area where the positive patients were. But then when they come out to bring the trash out and the dirty linen out, guess what? They got to walk through A pod to get to the chute. They not taking off their gowns. They not sanitizing and washing their hands properly. They walk through the hospital with the same gowns on, the same mask. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think about it that much, but when I was working at the hospital, I'm changing my mask out every time I sweat, every time I may slob in it, and because it's a cloth mask, well, not cloth, but paper, you know, I'm throwing it away. These people, doctors and all, walking through the hospital with the same gowns on that they had back there in the positive area. If it was that serious, like it was when they was dropping like flies, why aren't these people taking it seriously? You know what I'm saying? But I just think there's something behind it. I honestly don't feel like, I mean, yeah, people have tested positive. I've had a family member test positive. So I'm not saying that it's not out there or whatever, but hey, we're not the physicians. We're not, the phlebotomists or the doctors or anything. A person can tell you anything. You can be told anything. Hey, it's gonna rain today. You really don't know. You don't have the right fucking instruments to measure or to make it rain. All you can do is listen to the meteorologist. So when the doctor say you go in there for a headache and you say, oh, he tell you, oh, you got a brain tumor the size of a egg. A lot of people don't go get that second opinion. They just go, well, this is a doctor. Why would he lie to me? And you just go for it. I believe everything happened according to God's will. I believe everybody's life, which I say book, everybody's book was written out. Your chapter may stop at 30. It may stop at 101. It may stop at 10. It may stop at 25. God wrote that book out. He know when you're going to die. He know when you're born. He know what you're gonna die from. He know why. All that. So I just feel like everything happened according to God's will. Just like in the book of Genesis, I believe. I have never read the Bible, so I may say something wrong. But I remember when he made a flood for 40 nights and 40 days, and the people that didn't get on that ark drowned out. When I made a video a few months ago, and I'm like, everybody just needs to repent. Everybody needs to pray to God. Hold on.